Welcome back to Rhythm Guitar Book 2. This book focuses on open chords, strumming, and fingerstyle patterns. You can watch all these videos for free, but it's going to be a lot easier to learn if you have your own copy of Melody Guitar 2 that you can read from and write in. So I'll leave a link in the description. We're on pages 58 and 59. In the last lesson, you learned about DC markings. In this lesson, you're going to learn about DS markings. In the last lesson, you learned about DC markings, which take you back to the beginning of the music. DS markings are similar, except with DS markings, you're going to jump to somewhere in the middle of the music. Number R94, this D.S. Al fine etude, let's look through this. It's in 3/4 time, and at the end, we have a D.S. Al fine. So that D.S. means we jump back to what's called the sign, that funny-looking S. And in this case, the sign appears at the beginning of the second line. So as soon as we play that last measure of the last line, we jump back to that S. And because it says al fine, just as with the DC al fine, you stop at the fine bar, which happens to be at the end of that line. And again, the fine bar is also going to have that final bar line, which you normally see at the very, very end of the music. So you play all the way through, hit that DS al fine, jump back to the sign, play until you reach the fine bar, which is at the end of the second line. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, play. Jump to the sign. And that's where we end. On page 59, we have R95, this D.S. Al Coda etude. So just as with the DC Al Coda, you're going to be looking for a coda sign. So in this case, we play to the end of the fourth line, where the DS Al Coda marking is. That DS always takes us back to the sign, and in this exercise, the sign is at the beginning of the second line. We play until we see a 2 coda marking, which in this case appears at the end of that second line. Once you've played that 2 coda measure, you jump to the coda, which in this case is that very last line. So you're not going to play that coda until you've jumped back to the sign and repeated and gone through that coda marking. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. To the sign. To the coda. At the bottom of page 59, we have this roadmap recap. So a DC marking always takes you back to the beginning. A DS marking always takes you back to the sign. A fine is going to end somewhere in the middle of your music, and a coda is going to be at the end of the music. Your assignment is to practice the charts on pages 57 and 58, making sure you follow the DS Al Coda and DS Al fine markings. And from now on, keep an eye out for DS and DC markings in your music. As always, work on keeping a steady beat by playing along with the video or playing to a metronome so you can choose your own tempo. Practice these charts until you're comfortable with them, and then I will see you on page 60. We've got some more rhythm charts that put your new knowledge to use: DC, DS markings, new chords, and new comping patterns.